Wrestling fans, it's Thursday night at 9:30. It's cold and rainy out, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for your favorite show, the show we call The Takedown on OH Report. I'm Zack Truax, and tonight we'll recap conference championships, the OCC, the KMAC, but first we'll start things off with the MOAC. Adam, hit me with that fancy music and all the graphics. Like I said, we're going to recap the conference championships first, and we'll start things off at the MOAC tournament down in the Valley, Clear Fork High School. It was packed all day long with fantastic wrestling, but in the end, only one guy could be champion from each weight class. Let's take a look at the highlights from last Saturday to see how it all boiled down. Like a snap down off the whistle, let's get right into the action at 106 pounds. Aiden Ole of Ontario wins 7-3 over Connor Blaney of Highland. Ole showed why he's the #1 ranked wrestler in Division II at 106 pounds, controlling the match from start to finish over Blaney, who is currently ranked 15th in Division II. Aiden Ole is in control the whole match, the whole way. At 120 pounds, Grady Harding of Gallion got a late takedown to go up 4-3 with 9 seconds left. Unfortunately, Jacob Ole from Ontario had the injury default out of the match shortly after that. #3 ranked Harding is wrestling very physical right now, which is why he was able to secure the victory in the closing seconds of the match, even though he gave up the first takedown. Jacob Ole, the #2 ranked wrestler at 113 pounds in Division II, moved up to 120 pounds for the MOAC tournament. Both of these guys have legitimate opportunities to stand on top of the podium in Columbus. But let's hear from the MOAC champion at 120 pounds, Grady Harding.
Grady, you had a huge task in front of you today, wrestling Jacob Ole. I know you guys have locked horns quite a bit over the years, but today was really exciting. Give me your keys to that victory. What were you able to do to really separate yourself in that match?
Just pushing the pace. I mean, that's what I've been working on all year. My gas tank's big enough to do it, so it was just a matter of doing it. Just had to push the pace there.
The biggest thing I noticed today, those snap downs, man, they were physical, and you controlled the tie, and you snap down. Explain to me what the thinking is when you're wrestling a top-level wrestler like that. Why do you rely so much on that snap down, and why is it so effective?
It gets them off their feet. I mean, it gets them on their toes. That's what you want. If you can get them on their toes, I mean, they can't do much. It opens up your shots, opens up everything.
Now he loves to wrestle from that low level, right? He'll take a little shot, and then if you don't match his distance, boy, he springs right in. He's so good with that. How do you defend that? Tell guys how to defend that, because sometimes it is so hard to defend that.
I mean, there's not much you can do. You just got to keep good position. Get your head. Head is the biggest part. Once I got my head in there, he couldn't get to my legs.
Grady, you're about to get your awards. I'm going to let you go. Hey.
At 126 pounds, Casey Clark of Highland wins 5-2 over Ryder Alberti from Gallion. Highland's Clark is currently ranked #18 in Division II at 126 pounds, and he turned a very workmanlike victory over Ryder Alberti of Gallion, who is currently ranked #28 in Division II. Alberti hit a Houdini-esque reversal at the end to make the match a bit closer. In the 132-pound weight class, Peyton Hoskins wins a 12-4 major decision over Julian McGinty of Ontario. In a rematch from a very exciting match a couple weeks ago, number 22 ranked Hoskins was in the driver's seat the entire match. McGinney, who's ranked 24, looked for that big throw again, but Hoskin wasn't allowing it this time around. 138 pounds, Mason Turnbull from Ontario gets a first period pin over Ridge Barkley of Marion Harding, which is my personal Counting Lights nominee. Turnbull is currently ranked number 6 in Division II and handled his business in the finals with a great knee pick and went right into a pinning combination. At 144 pounds, Cole Gilmore of Highland wins a tech fall over Kyle Sinteri of Marion Harding. Gilmore, who is currently ranked number 7 at 144 pounds in Division II, is only a sophomore, but he wrestles like an upperclassman with great pace and chain wrestling. Easily one of the most impressive wrestlers from that day. At 150 pounds, Jackson Chase gets a first period pin over Liam Delaney of Highland. Chase, the number 3 ranked wrestler at 150 pounds in Division III, had more trouble with his contact before the match started than he encountered in the finals. Chase is yet another MOAC wrestler who has a legit shot at a state championship this year. At 157 pounds, Cole Dilley from Ontario gets a second period pin over Remington Baker of Highland. In a match that looked like it could go either way, Dilley put Baker on his back in the first period, then caught him again in the second period and finished him off. This is Dilley's first varsity tournament championship, and hats off to him for fighting through a myriad of injuries the last couple years to secure a very important championship for the Warriors. In another championship match that featured highly ranked wrestlers in Division II, 165 pounds, Sam Menser of Marion Pleasant wins an action-packed, physical match over Luke Schlosser of Clear Fork. Sam Menser, currently ranked number 4 in Division II, was able to fend off 3 really nice leg attacks by number 5 ranked Luke Schlosser. Schlosser was in deep multiple times and just wasn't able to finish the takedowns. Menser used defense and re-attacks to hold Schlosser off in the third period. Look for Schlosser to make some small adjustments and be ready the next time these two get together. I was able to catch up with Menser after the match to find out what gave him the ability to fight off those great leg attacks by Schlosser.
I've got your 165-pound champ with me from Marion Pleasant, Sam Menser. Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
Menser, hey, what a physical match that was. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. I see you got a cut on your nose.
We love to see it, man. We love to see this.
the black eye.
Oh, yeah.
Got some bloody nose out there. Great physical match there with Luke Schlosser. Mm-hmm. What was your key to winning that match, do you feel?
You know, coming off some sickness from the last few weeks, it's just staying in good position. You know, if I can control the pace of the match, I can control the positions, I can control the outcome of the match. So.
Now, he was in deep on a couple shots. Mm-hmm. You were able to fight that off. One particularly, he was chest wrapped all the way in on a double.
Oh, yeah, I thought I was dead to rights.
We all did. How do you squeeze out of that? What you know, when you feel a guy, when a guy's got you that deep, right, and it probably doesn't happen a whole lot to you, right? How do you? What's your thought process? How do you get in that position and put yourself? Because then you end up scoring a takedown. Mm-hmm. So what's your thought process there? How do you train to get out of that?
It's finding the best guys you can find. You know, me traveling hours away to go to Ohio State or Cleveland or up in Columbus and different places throughout the state. Been doing this since I was 5-6 years old, so obviously it comes with time and experience. But traveling to find the best guys you can find, putting yourself in awkward positions in practice when it doesn't count.
Nice.
Is the best thing I can say with that.
It's a physical match, and when you're in a physical match like that, how do you keep yourself calm? Because you never looked rattled. You looked like you were in, mentally you were right where you wanted to be the whole time. How do you keep yourself calm in such a physical and emotional and tough match?
You know, I've been there before at different national tournaments, state tournaments, things like that, but ultimately from the past previous years, it's been my belief in God, stuff like that. And every time I go out there, I say a quick prayer before my match. Peter's 5-1 or Peter's 5-7. Always say that before my match. That's a little quote me and my grandma had growing up. So always say that before my match, and that kind of always sticks in my head throughout the match.
Moving on to the big boys, 175 pounds, Blake Schlosser of Clear Fork pins Dylan Floyd of Ontario in the third period. 8th-ranked Blake Schlosser uses his cradle to wrap up an MOAC championship in the 175-pound weight class. At 190 pounds, Porter Rick of River Valley wins 5-2 over Landon O'Donnell of Marion Pleasant. Rick, who is ranked number 9 in Division II at 190 pounds, used solid defense, forcing O'Donnell into bad shots and then scoring off those shots to secure the championship. I really like the way Rick uses a front quarter Nelson to stop momentum and turn the corner to create his own shots. 215 pounds, Landon Campbell, first period pin over Ethan Taylor of Highland. Number 2 ranked Landon Campbell has been Mr. Reliable for Ontario all year, and he takes care of business in under 1 minute in the championship match. 285 pounds, Alex Griffith of Galleon gets an 18-2 tech fall over Drew Goldberg of River Valley. Griffith showed why he's a number 3 ranked guy at 285 in Division II. He dispatched Drew Goldberg via technical fall in the second period. Goldberg can throw from anywhere, but Griffith was never in danger of that, using solid leg attacks to score his tech fall. Ontario escapes the Valley with its second MOAC championship in 3 years. Congratulations to the Warriors, and here's the complete team results from Saturday's championship tournament. The OCC championships were hosted at Madison this year. The heavy favorites going into the tournament were defending champs Mount Vernon and perennial OCC championship contenders Ashland and West Holmes. Now here are the team and individual results from that tournament. At the beginning of this season, in one of our first interviews with newly hired head coach Tommy Bauer, he predicted the Ashland Arrows would be the OCC champs, and with hard work, grit, and determination, the Arrows made that vision a reality as Ashland edges out Mount Vernon for the championship. That wraps up our local conference coverage. Big shout outs to conference champs Ashland, Ontario, and Marion Elgin for bringing home the hardware. We need to take some injury time, and let's hear from our generous sponsors at Crown Dublin. But when we come back, we'll cover sectional and district tournament assignments. It's all coming up on the other side of the break. Adam, hit me with the fancy music and graphics.
Ram Truck Month is on. Shop Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin to drive home with up to $17,000 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500. Save at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin today. The better way to buy and service.
Welcome back to the Takedown on OH Report, brought to you by Crown Dublin. I'm Zack Truax. Now, let's take a look at where local teams will be to kick off their state tournament action. OCC champs Ashland will be going to Avon Lake Sectional. That sectional feeds into the Perrysburg District, which is arguably one of the toughest districts in the entire nation, with national powers St. Edward High School and Perrysburg High School also competing in that tournament. OCC runner-ups Mount Vernon will be at the Newark Sectional, and MOAC D1 Marion Harding will be at the Watkins Memorial Sectional. Both of those sectionals feed into the Hilliard Darby District, where D1 heavyweight and the premier Division I team in Central Ohio, Dublin Kaufman, awaits. Worcester goes to a rugged Wadsworth sectional, and Dover goes to an equally tough Massillon Perry sectional. Those sectionals go to North Canton Hoover District. In Division II, MOAC champs Ontario, along with MOAC rival Gallion and OCC Lexington, go to the Clyde sectional. MOAC runner-up Clear Fork, along with MOAC rival Shelby and OCC teams Madison and Mansfield Senior, are assigned to the Sandusky sectional. Both sectionals send their top 4 wrestlers to the very deep, very competitive Division II Norwalk District. OCC Power West Holmes goes to the Steubenville sectional, and OCC rival New Philadelphia heads just down the road to Claymont for sectionals. Those sectionals feed in the Gilead Academy District. MOAC Power Highland High School is at the Jonathan Alder sectional, and from there they go to the Wilmington District. In Division III, KMAC champs Marion Elgin, along with Centerburg, East Knox, Fredericktown, and Northmore, will join MOAC Marion Pleasant at the Ridgedale sectional. From there, top 4 placers head to the Heath District. Loudonville travels to Rootstown for sectionals. Hillsdale and Mapleton go just up the road to Northwestern High School. Both sectionals go to the always grueling Independence District. Crestview and Lucas are at the Plymouth sectional, and from there go to Rossford for districts. So there's every wrestler's path to the state tournament. Best of luck to all the local wrestlers competing in their sectional and districts in the upcoming weeks. When we come back, we'll announce winners from the Takedown of the Week, Rather Throw You Than Know You, and Counting Lights. Plus, we'll see submissions for this week's awards, and we'll take a moment to showcase some milestones hit by local wrestlers in our area. Now, hit me with that music. Show me the graphics.
Truck Month is on. Shop Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin to drive home with up to $17,000 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500. Save at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin today. The better way to buy and service.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. It's the third period of our season finale, The Takedown, and now we're hitting the mat with your fan-voted winners from last week. First up, in Counting Lights, Caden Spots of Ashland is your fan-voted winner from episode 3. Right here, you see Caden look to hit that Brands throw, switches off to a cement mixer, and gets the fall. Way to go, Aero Nation, for voting for your guy to secure that win. Next up, from the segment So Badass, we named the show after it, The Takedown of the Week, and the Ashland Arrows are cleaning up. OCC champs, Caden Spots gets the Counting Lights vote, and here, Mason Bauer is your winner of Takedown of the Week with this beautiful single. Switches off, changes direction, gorgeous lift, finishes physically on the mat, gets his 2-point takedown, and secures Takedown of the Week. Mason Bauer. And forfeits are nothing new to the sport of wrestling, but when we've only got one submission, well, that's your winner. Julian McGinney of Ontario is your winner from episode 4 of Rather Throw You Than Know You. And honestly, I don't know if anyone would have submitted something if it could have beat this throw right here. Let's see Julian McGinney's winning throw. Double overhook, step in, man, physical throw right there. Works himself back in the match. McGinney actually goes on to lose this match, but gives himself a fighting opportunity and wins this week's Rather Throw You Than Know You fan vote. And now we move on to this week's submissions for Counting Lights, Rather Throw You Than Know You, and Takedown of the Week. First up, Counting Lights. This week's submissions are Jackson Stancomb, Madison, 285 pounds. This submission looks like it comes from the OCC Championships. Stancomb's looking for the fall here, trying to get a stack, avoids a potentially dangerous, and Jackson Stancomb's got him, Counting Lights. Our next submission for Counting Lights is Shelby's 132-pounder Tristan Carr. Stacks are the order of the day today, and Tristan Carr's running his version of a stack right here. Steps over, gets the fall. Tristan Carr, Shelby, he's got him, Counting Lights. Those are your submissions for this week's Counting Lights. Get out there and vote for your favorite, and we'll announce it next week. And on this week's The Rather Throw You Than Know You, once again, one submission, we've got a winner, and once again, I don't think anyone could have beat it anyways. With his team down 18-22, Wyatt Bailey hits this beautiful lat drop to secure the victory for the Eagles over Grand Valley State University. Huge pin for Bailey to keep this Eagles winning streak alive and secure the victory for the Eagles. Wyatt Bailey, he'd rather throw you than know you. And now, for this segment, so good, we named it after the show, Takedown of the Week. This week's submissions are, first up, 113 pounds from Gallion Carter Trukovich. He gets stuck underneath here a little bit, but he doesn't panic. Pops his head out, collects the ankle, and gets his 2-point takedown with a bottom leg Turk. Carter Trukovich is your first nominee for Takedown of the Week. Your second nominee, hey, you want to win matches in Columbus? When you've got the lead and keep the referee from hitting you for stalling, score off your opponent's bad shots. And this is what Gilmore does right here. Snap, move, score. Doesn't let his knees touch the mat, keeps snapping, keeps changing directions, and gets the score. Cale Gilmore won a very impressive MOAC title, and he's your second nominee for Takedown of the Week. And now, another Ashland wrestler with a high-flying finish. Cooper Smith, in on the single, lifts to a double, and finishes en route to his OCC championship at 190 pounds. Cooper Smith is your third submission for Takedown of the Week. Now fans, go out, pick your favorite, and vote on your social media platform, and please share the videos so other fans can vote too. It's the season finale, and so we're going to need overtime. But coming up, we'll take a look at milestone moments from local wrestlers and step up on the podium for the final time this season. Stick around, more of the Takedown after this message from our generous sponsors at Crown Dublin.
Ram Truck Month is on. Shop Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin to drive home with up to $17,000 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500. Save at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin today. The better way to buy and service.
Welcome back to the Takedown. I'm Zack Truax on OH Report. When we started this show, the whole point was to promote high school wrestling in North Central Ohio. Wrestling is more than a high school sport for so many wrestlers and their families. It becomes a way of life for many months out of the year. Let's take a moment to see some of the milestones some local wrestlers have hit this year and celebrate the dedication to their craft. Thanks to all the wrestlers and coaches who took time to be part of our show. Their interviews were instrumental in helping fans get an inside understanding of the sport of wrestling. Of course, we couldn't have done any of this without the support from Crown Dublin sponsoring us the entire season. And now, before I end the show for the last time, I'd like to send a special note to all the wrestlers out there starting their quest for all their end-of-season goals. I heard a wise coach once say, to be the best wrestler in the state and accomplish all your goals, you don't have to be the best wrestler in the state every single match. You just have to be the best guy on the mat for 6 minutes at a time. I want to wish all the local wrestlers nothing but the best of luck as they strive for their season-ending goals. Stay healthy, stick with it, and as always, keep your laces off the mat and a wrinkle in the back of your neck. I'm Zack Truax. See you next year.